Washington's governor comes all the way down from Olympia to tour a Vancouver elementary school. Why he says VPS is a model for other districts around the state. Plus, it's never too early to think about college. How one elementary school is encouraging its students to dream big. And
not with these eyes in mind.
The arts are alive in Vancouver Public Schools. The plays and artwork students are putting out into the community. Welcome to Inside Vancouver Public Schools. I'm Coleen Jamison. Washington Governor Jay Inslee has made education one of his top legislative priorities. So to learn more about how Vancouver Public Schools is closing the achievement gap, he stopped by Washington Elementary School. Amanda Richter was there too.
It's been a buzz in the air in the school the last few days.
Why are students and staff so excited? Washington Elementary is hosting an important guest, the Governor of Washington, Jay Inslee.
Hi, hey, how you doing?
Patrick, how are you doing? Thank you for coming out, Governor.
We got a nice looking crew here.
First, a tour of Washington's classrooms and a chance to interact with children. The purpose of the visit is for Governor Inslee to learn firsthand about family community resource centers, which are located in more than a dozen Vancouver public schools. A coordinator at the school serves as a liaison between families and the help they need to get by.
We find that when a child's basic needs are met, where they have adequate food, shelter, clothing, they're able to learn and they're able to perform in school.
Whether it's food, clothing, transportation, all those pieces, she works to provide that to the families and students so that when they come to school, they're ready to learn.
After seeing the kids, the governor meets with more than 24 local educators and representatives from social agencies and charities.
That your zip code should not determine if you can go to the doctor, and your zip code should not determine whether or not your child goes to school every day hungry.
The groups represented on the panel partner with the district to help fulfill those basic needs. All the way from Olympia, the governor noticed the work being done in Vancouver.
You recognize that those 18 hours outside the schoolroom are just as important as the 6 hours in it, and the 6 hours in it work if you make sure the 18 hours work.
He hopes that the system Vancouver Public Schools has put in place can serve as an example to other districts.
You've got a great story to tell here, and I'm going to tell it statewide.
It makes it more real how important it is and how we make an impact on children's and families' lives and how we need to just keep doing the work and how these families need us, and it's nice to be recognized that way.
The state Supreme Court ruled that lawmakers aren't fully funding education, which is required by the state constitution. As lawmakers work to fix that, the governor can point to the positive impact being made in schools like Washington Elementary.
And I'm very inspired by your community effort here.
Inside Vancouver Public Schools, I'm Amanda Richter.
Thanks, Amanda. To hear more of the governor's comments, stay tuned after this episode. And if you're looking for more information about family community resource centers, you can find it on the district website. Just go to www.vansd.org and click on Community in the menu. There's a link in there that will get you information on locations, how you can get help or give it. Sarah J. Anderson Elementary hosted visitors of its own at its College Day event. Speakers came in to encourage kids to talk about their experience after high school.
Raise your hand if you're planning to go to college. Excellent.
Among the speakers was Patrick Lathrop, an Anderson alum. He's now the executive director of the Coaster Theater Playhouse in Cannon Beach, Oregon. He spoke to students about what college has done for him and took their questions about what college is like.
Most of the questions were very good, very well thought out, I thought, and the last one, you know, they all had them all prepped and ready to go, so I was really impressed with that preparation that they did.
Anderson is one of a few no excuses schools in Vancouver which have programs to encourage even young students to consider going to college. The goal, to get it in their minds as a possibility even if their families don't have a history of college. The dream of college is within the grasp of seniors at Hudson's Bay High School. We caught up with a group of them who have already been accepted to Washington State.
Go Kids!
WSU Pullman sponsored a luncheon at Bay for students who've already been admitted and are trying to decide which school to attend. A representative from WSU talked to kids about what they need to do to be ready for school in the fall. They can take trips to campus, get help with their financial aid forms, and find out what will be expected of them as college students. It's a challenge they're ready to take on.
I'm actually really excited. I mean, definitely like first generation, I'm a role model for my younger brothers and all that, and I can get a career, and my parents have just jobs, but I actually want an actual career, something that I'd love to do. And
Anthony Sanchez is deciding between 3 schools and is thinking about architecture. Many of the students at Bay's luncheon also took part in the AVID program, which prepares kids for college. Students honor the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. At Jay Inslee Middle School, they learned that one of Dr. King's simplest messages is also one of his most powerful. Middle schoolers participated in a day of kindness the Friday before the MLK holiday. Each student wrote down what he or she is doing for someone else that day.
Martin Luther King wanted everyone to be equally treated the same, and showing acts of kindness is showing that you're all equally treated.
What we're doing is trying to show other people kindness, be nice, play ball with somebody you don't usually play with, help a friend in need.
You don't really have to have a big act of kindness. It can be as simple as saying hi to somebody, smiling at somebody, holding the door open to them. So just in general, trying to be kind.
If everyone's kind to one another, then you don't have a lot of arguments, you don't have a lot of situations where someone's being bullied because no one feels threatened by another person.
Jay Inslee's Day of Kindness was one of several different events across the district to honor Martin Luther King Jr. And speaking of Jay Inslee, the school is about to celebrate its 50th anniversary later this year. This spring, it's looking for alums to come back to school to speak to current students. If you went to Jay Inslee and want to participate, contact Sharique Gomez at the address you see right there on your screen or call 313-3500. The drama department at Skyview High School tackles a classic play.
What call of the heart can reach my ears with joy?
We caught up with thespians from Skyview as they put on the final touches of their performance of Oedipus Rex, the classic Greek tragedy. If you've seen it or read it, you know it's a pretty dark story, but these actors think it's a story worth telling.
It's really an experience that I cannot recommend enough. Having been in this show and having run it hundreds of times at this point for running lines or in rehearsals and whatnot, it's still shocking to me. And I really do think it's an experience that anyone and everyone, if they have an appropriate maturity level, really should come out of their way to see.
Skyview's drama department puts on a number of shows throughout the year. This one runs from February 5th through the 7th at 7 p.m. in Skyview's auditorium. Admission is just $5 at the door or $4 with your student body card. Skyview's music department also gets out for some public performances. We got this home video from around Christmas time, just one of their many shows. Students raised money for their program with this bandathon, but more than raising money, students raised the spirits of seniors.
Well, because we like caroling for people, first of all, because we do really love our craft and playing. But I think it was also to just cheer up their day.
This series of winter performances netted the kids more than $2,000. Their final goal is $35,000. Artists of a different kind, this time from Columbia River High School, take their art public as well. Students in River's International Baccalaureate art classes got to put their artwork in a real professional gallery. The artists prepared pieces with the theme Youth Have Hope, which were then displayed at the North Bank Artist Gallery throughout January. Students used that motif to come up with ideas for their artwork.
It was really interesting to see all the different ways that people took that. Some people took it with landscape, some people took it with actual people. It was just very interesting how many different takes there were on this one project.
In addition to the theme, students used their own experiences as volunteers to shape their finished products. Themes ranged from bullying and identity to hunger, homelessness, and the environment. Time now for #VPS success. Twitter users send out their stories of great teaching and learning in Vancouver Public Schools. Our first tweet comes from Dave Condit. He writes, 70 of the best middle school musicians in their first honor band rehearsal for this year. Dave runs the band and orchestra program at Discovery Middle School, which has won a number of local honors of its own. Coming up in March, you can see the Discovery Marching Band in the annual Patty Howe Parade. Our next comes from SSLE VPS, who tweeted, "Teaching expectations to kinders today for small group and large group instruction." As part of the lesson, you can see a kindergartner wrote that her favorite flavor is strawberry. Setting behavior expectations is one of the biggest lessons in early childhood education. See something great in Vancouver Public Schools? Tweet about it with the hashtag VPSSuccess. And that's it for us. Remember that you can see lots more about Vancouver Public Schools on our YouTube page. That's youtube.com/VanSDTV. Until next time, I'm Coleen Jamison.